Welcome to the show, everyone. How's it going? My goodness, what a interesting week we've been having. Um, First of all, I finally realized why I'm getting less and less viewers recently. Not on this channel, on my main channel. You see, well, actually, on both of my channels, I've noticed a decrease in viewership. And I'm like, well, what happened? Like, was I entertaining yesterday and then the day after I became boring? Because it was like a huge drop. And it's like, okay, I mean, I understand, like, maybe I'm boring, but like, the drop should be over a long period of time, not so sudden. Maybe I got in a controversy, Did I upset someone? Did anyone expose me of doing something nasty? Are there rumors being spread on me? What is going on? And, well, as it turns out, YouTube was placing ads on my videos. Which is expected, but not 4 of them, right? Like, if you have a 10-minute video and there's 4 ads being placed, well, most people are going to just stop watching. I don't know what the fuck YouTube is doing. Like, seriously. Like, let me put my own fucking ads. Like, I'm picturing myself watching someone, right? And there's an ad. And you're like, well, okay, I mean, that content creator has to eat. Like, it's normal. But then you keep watching another ad. And you're like, okay, well, whatever, another ad. And then another. And at that point, it's like, okay, fuck off. And you're watching something else, right? Yeah, I'm live. What else we talk about? Apparently, YouTube is adding a new system. Okay, a new and interesting system. It's called Hype. I don't know if you guys have it already or if it's going to be released soon. But the general idea is that every single person is going to have 3 hypes per week, which are free. And this goes like beyond the like. And you can hype anyone that has anywhere between, I think it's like 1,000 and 500,000 subscribers. So if you hype them, they're being placed on a wall of fame. And it helps with discoverability. So if you happen to have a favorite content creator, like someone that you like, you can use the hype on them, and it's going to help other people discover your shit, which is a bad idea because everyone knows what happened to Pipkin Pippa. Right? Like, Pipkin Pippa is the reason why you don't want your Oshi to go public. Back in the day when Pipkin Pippa was a schizo and she had 100 people in the chat and she was excited to see you, she would call up your name, she would know who you are. And then 2,000 other losers came in, and then she stopped reading the name, and now she doesn't even know who the fuck you are. If you give her a $10 donation, she doesn't even call your name. And so, it's important for people not to know about your Oshi. Okay. Oh, we got, what, like, top fans? What is this? Oh my god, top fans. Holy shit. Like, they're adding a lot of features lately. Adding a lot of features. Oh, Dios mío. Can I put timestamps on? Oh, now I can see with timestamps. Oh my goodness. Like, they're a little bit more, and they will add moderators in the chat. Like, I may even have Janice to ban you guys. We all know she's not actually a schizo. No, I spoke with her behind the scenes. She definitely is a schizo. Safa parasocials. Yeah. How to get that? I don't think they released it yet, right? So I just got an email from them. Probably like they're letting content creators know. It's like, all right, we're going to do something that may not be inherently stupid. Hold on, I see Destiny is still struggling with his jokes. Oh my goodness. Destiny, what are you doing? Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Destiny, brilliant political analyst, one of the smartest people on the left, the intellectual artillery of the progressive movement, has decided to engage emotions with logic, right? Especially him. So everyone knows Destiny is like a cheeky little shit. And he basically wanted to prove, look at the hypocrites, look at the conservatives. They just want free speech so that they can say the N-word, right? Like, this is his thesis. This is what Destiny thinks about the world. Like, conservatives, they only live and breathe to say the N-word. And so he decided to put his theory to the test. He decided to make jokes about dying kids in Texas. They were good jokes. I laughed. I'm sorry. Like, look. Are they a good joke if I laughed or not? Like, they weren't in good taste. They were dark jokes. They were horrible. But when I read it, I was like, what should I do, chat? Like, what is my penance? What is my punishment? I didn't want to laugh, to be honest. Like, I generally try. And this is like a moment of honesty and vulnerability that I'm sharing here. Like, I'm embarrassed with myself. I wish I didn't, but I did. Right? He basically said that the reason kids died is because, I think it was like, God punished Texas for having Pornhub or something like that. And the kids, I think, like, had access to NordVPN. I forgot the joke. See, I can't even, like, it was a joke of such pure genius, such pure intellect that only a leftist that studies the academic rigor can make. And so, yeah, I chuckled, but apparently a lot of people didn't chuckle. Or maybe they chuckled and they want to cancel him anyway. I don't fucking know. So now he finds out, oh, holy shit, people can be emotional, and joking about dead kids is not a good idea. Even if you make people laugh, they're still outraged, yeah. So I guess, like, he proved the point, right? Like, he proved the point. Congratulations, Destiny, but you still get, like, thousands of people now trying to get you canceled. Which, to be fair, it's just, like, a regular Destiny. I don't understand, like, why people are upset. Like, we seen Destiny not joke. Like, we seen him being serious and flat out expressly saying what he thinks about people that are Trump supporters. Like, it doesn't even view you in the same category as humanity, right? Like he views you the same as the firefighters, which apparently, like, Short Fat Otaku also took part of that intelligent take. But yeah, no, like Destiny flat out said before what he thinks of Trump supporters. He thinks that they deserve to get shot, right? And so, like, in the city of Texas, where there's more Trump supporters, do you think, like, he would have compassion or empathy about children? Of course not. The children rule over us. We cannot criticize them. You can, but you gotta understand, people are very emotional when it comes to children. So if you get attacked, if you get punched, you can't cry about it. Because, like, you know, it's kind of like asking me about the flood. Like, is the flood moral or immoral? It's like, it's not. But it's a bad idea to stay on the street when the flood is coming, right? So, like, if you position yourself in front of the flood of emotions that people have when you start joking about such cases, I mean, look, I'm not saying you should, but I'm saying it's predictable, right? Like, you're positioning yourself in front of a force of nature. Which city in Texas? No, the state. Why would I think it's not being serious? I don't know. I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. If he's serious, if he's not serious, it's the same shit. Like we already know how he thinks about right-wingers. Like, unless he changes his mind, unless he comes out and he says, you know what? I had a revelation. I no longer think bad things about right-wingers. I don't think they deserve to die. I think, like, they're good people now. Then I will reconsider my take on Destiny. But, like, right now, the same thing that he said all those months ago apparently stands, right? He hasn't had a change of heart. But, like, you can still hate someone and still joke about them, you know? So there's also that. Which maybe is what happened here. I don't know. You were watching his video before you came here? Jesus, did you lose some neurons on the way, huh? Chat, help it out. Trace back his journey from Destiny's channel to me and see if you lost some neurons on the way. Anyway, he's a gigantic tool. Well, he's a tool of prosperity because he constantly makes viewership. I mean, honestly, like, this trolling with Texas, yeah, there are people trying to cancel him, but, like, people are talking about him. He's trending. He managed to increase his number of subscribers, so, you know, did something good. Let me see the joke, though. Destiny, Texas. I think I can ask Grok, and Grok may tell me. Oh, NordVPN is going to sue him. Holy shit. Oh. Okay, right. So, this is the joke. Apparently, people are saying this is why his son hates him. For those of you who don't know, Destiny's son actually got banned on Twitch for shooting his dad with a paintball gun or an airsoft gun. Non-lethal weapon. You know, the one with the plastic balls that... Yeah. And he also blocked his son. I think, like, for different reasons. I don't know. But from what I understand, like, his son is a Nick Fuentes adept. Like, he's following the way of the cat boy. Right? I don't really cling to the internet drama, so, okay, don't take my word for it 100%. It's, But anyway, right, like, this is the joke. And again, like, the reason he's doing this is to point out that right-wingers do not want free speech for any other reason than to say the N-word, right? So, like, this was the moment for right-wingers to defend him. And because we didn't, we have failed, right? Like, we have failed in our morality. As you can see here, it's Kyle Jane Kermer. I've been trying to wrap my head around how the flooding in Texas became so devastating so quickly. Why not evacuate, right? And then she saw Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick say that the river rose in just 45 minutes. This doesn't seem natural. To which Destiny says, I heard God murdered those kids because they were using NordVPN, promo code Destiny, to get around the Texas porn ban. To which the NordVPN actually responded, hello everyone, this tweet falsely suggests a sponsorship with us. No such relationship exists. We are reviewing the misuse of our trademark. And then Destiny posted, they think they're slick, they think they're clever, but they can't catch me because I'm hiding myself behind NordVPN. Promo code NOAHARC. Right, yeah, so I guess he's right. I guess we do not support free speech. We have failed in our moral duty. Anyway, right, Zlixian, thank you for the $5. Holy shit, I got a super chat, chat. I got a super chat from Zlixian. We need our artists to dox the info of these people so we can apply the leftist tactics to them. There's no need to dox. All of them are public. Like, we're going to talk about that. Like, they're public figures. They're millionaires, by the way. If I literally can't scream the N-word at full volume in the middle of the town square, then I don't have free speech. Well, here's the thing, right? All jokes aside. Right, we're not joking now. We're serious. I wish that Destiny had the megaphone. Like, think about it this way, right? I don't know how many of you are in my situation, but unlike most of you, I have a son. Okay? One day, he's going to grow up. And I'll have to talk to him about the good things and the bad things in the world. And I'll have to tell my son, hey, there are bad people out there. They're called leftists. And I will describe what the leftist is and what the leftist thinks. And my son, I guarantee to you, is not going to believe me. He's going to be, no, daddy. Such people cannot exist. Such level of malice cannot exist. And then, you know, I wish that at the time I will have, like, Destiny's chat. And I'll be like, look, son, look what he thinks of you. Look what he thinks about your dad. Look what he thinks about your mom. Oh my goodness, daddy, you're right. He is evil. Yeah, and there are many people like him. This is why you should never hang out with leftists. Right? Like, for my child, the boogeyman is going to be the left. It's not going to be like the boogeyman is in the closet. It's going to be, no, the leftist is coming in to take our property. Right? To come in to tax daddy so you can't get toys. That's a way to educate a child, right? And for that to happen, I need Destiny to have a megaphone. I need him louder, not lower. Tragedy happened, kids die immediately, thinks of porn. I know, he thought of Jesus. It's like the connection between Jesus and porn, right? Like, because Texas is a pious state that worships Jesus, they have decided to take legislation against the internet. Jesus doesn't like access to Pornhub. And so the Texas lawmaker would love pornography, but unfortunately he has to comply with the divine mandate. So he decided to ban it. But some kids, that they violate the covenant. Like, some kids are so fucking evil that they use a VPN, and because of that, God sent the storm. This is the argument that Destiny is making. It's a religious, a theological argument, right? It's not of the spiritual, it's of the immaterium. Whether you agree with him or not, that's a different topic. I personally, again, I wish that his argument is spread far and wide so more people can interact with it and be like, okay, this is how a leftist thinks. Right. Dios mío. Should we talk about the feminists or no? Like, we're going to start talking. You know what? I'm going to make a rule from now on. I will talk about the title 30 minutes in, right? So that everyone can gather. I think, like, where we're 30 minutes in, everyone is sitting down and feeling comfy so that we can start with the fucking. Atheist vs. Pedas, says SRC Baker. You must do all. Number 1, light a candle plus a selfie. Oh, do you know, like, I actually noticed this. Like, no Romanian actually does that. We are part of the Orthodox Church. Lighting a candle is something that you gotta do when you go to church, right? It's not like a Protestant thing. You go to church, you light a candle. And no one takes a selfie while lighting a candle. Isn't that interesting? There is no God but chat, and V, it's his fucking prophet, in an Orthodox church. Whisper 9, hail succubi, 4 confess, 1 algorithm blasphemy live. The thing is, like, if I do that in Romania, no one fucking cares. Like, people will just look at me weird. It's like, if you want to do that, why did you come to church? But, like, you're not going to get the stink eye or anything. Like, people are like, Luton! Thank you for becoming a member. Starship Troopers. By the way, Starship Troopers, I actually watched that again. It's good shit. It's so annoying. Starship Troopers, the first one is amazing, but the other ones are awful. Except for the one where they talk about the traders of Mars. That one is cool. Selfie culture is a vibe. The only time I despise that culture is when I went to the baptism. I went to the baptism and it was like 32 degrees Celsius. Like, the water was literally running off me. I was dying. It's kind of like in the Sahara Desert. The kid was crying. Apparently, children do not appreciate the heat either. But the women, all the women, like, they wanted selfies. And they wanted pictures with the kid. And it's like, can't you see it's in distress? That's what it means when it's screaming to the point that his lungs are bursting. Like, let me explain to you what's happening, okay? The child is releasing adrenaline in its body. It's thinking that it's about to die. I'm not kidding. Like, this is what happens with kids under 1 year old. Like, when they're crying, like, their body is actually pumping with adrenaline. It's, imagine that you're seeing a bear in front of you right now. That's literally the sensation that they would be experiencing, right? So, if you can make sure that the child receives whatever it needs, it's usually titty, right? But sometimes it wants to sleep. Other times it just wants to be able to sleep without noise. But, like, making sure it receives what it needs is actually healthy for the child. Simply holding him for selfies as it's screaming in agony is not something that I appreciate, but it is what it is, like, if there's like 5-6 other women there, part of the family, huh? When it comes to children, it's their turf. That's how it's like in a Christian society. Like, when it comes to children, the women decide, and it's like, okay, well, whatever. Don't have to listen to me. The fuck do I know? Apparently Nick Fuentes is saying that people should vote Democrat in the midterms. And this actually got me to wonder. Has Nick Fuentes ever, in his entire career, like, this is a legit argument, okay? I'm not being a cheeky little shit. I'm not trying to be annoying or anything. I'm not trolling, despite my avatar. But people who watch Nick Fuentes, do we have one in the chat? Like, there was a person that watched Destiny, right? Like, if you watch Destiny, do you also watch Fuentes? Like, do they come in the same package? I understand that in some contexts they might. Has he ever, at least once in his entire career, encouraged a single person to vote Republican? I understand, you know, like, now is the controversy with Jeffrey Epstein and all that shit. But, like, has he ever, once, just once, you know? Like, is there a situation where he actually said that encouraged people to vote Republican? How long has he been on the air, huh? I think, like, Mr. Fuentes has been on the air for more than 8 years, as far as I know. Like, probably more than that. He rallied for Trump? When? I remember, like, last election, he specifically said that people shouldn't vote for Trump. Okay, so in 2016. Okay. So in 2016, he rallied for Trump. Next year, we're reaching a decade. Right? Like, we are celebrating a decade since Mr. Fuentes has rallied people for Trump. Do you think it would be time for him to, like, do it again? I'm not saying for Trump in particular, but, like, any right-winger. Any whatsoever. Like, would you say that once in 10 years, it should be acceptable for Mr. Fuentes to endorse a right-wing candidate? Because otherwise, I will assume he's a Democrat. Right? Like, am I not following this correctly? Like, a person that constantly encourages people to vote Democrat or to abstain from voting is a Democrat. If he has a right-wing base. If he has a left-wing base and he like, imagine this, right? Imagine Cenk Uygur constantly encouraging his supporters to vote right-wing or to abstain from voting. Like, at what point would you say, okay, well, maybe Cenk Uygur is right-wing? And he would say, you know what? The Democrats love Israel, so I want you all to vote Republicans. Like, this would be like the mirror Fuentes, right? Like, seriously, imagine Cenk Uygur or Hassan Piker, actually a better idea, right? Because, like, Hassan Piker is also a streamer, a content creator, right? So you're seeing Hassan Piker there, you know, constantly talking about socialism and constantly talking about leftist issues. But whenever it's time to vote, whenever it's election season, Hassan Piker would say, the Democrats are supporting Israel, and we're for Palestine over here. We're for Palestine. So I want you all to vote Republicans, and I want you all to either do that or not vote at all. Right? And he does it once, he does it twice, he does it 3 times, and at some point you start to wonder. It's like, hold on a little bit. Is Mr. Piker legitimately a left-leaning person? Like, if all leftists were like Mr. Piker, I mean, the right would have no problem winning any election. Anyway, JD is finally here. Welcome. They are the party on the KKK. Okay, let's see. The Steam Visa Mastercard bullshit. The collective cry. We got Asmongold talking about it, but I don't think like he's actually informed of what's going on. But we got Madame Savi calling it out. Right. So, in order to understand what collective cry is, you need to understand that there are some nations on Earth that are walking mental asylums. I'm kidding. Like, if it was up to me, any crazy person that exists in Romania and they're at risk of doing harm to themselves or to others should be deported to one of those two nations for their own benefit. Like, I'm not kidding. They're first world nations, really good, but like, you can separate the civilized people from the non-civilized immediately. Britain and Australia. Like, Britain and Australia, like, I'm sorry to say, from my point of view, the governments are running you like mental asylums. Like, in Britain, for instance, you know, like in the madhouse, they check the patients to see if they have shanks. They do that in London as well, like on the street, right? Like if you're going to buy some piece of cutlery, like the police immediately starts frisking you, right? Like everyone is suspicious. Like if you want to use a computer, immediately, like they have to check, like what is he doing? Why is he using a computer? Does he have a license? Is he authorized? Huh? So, like, let me show you what Australia is doing, just so you can understand where this madness is going, and this madness is being exported to us to fight pornography, of course, like why else? Australia social media ID, right? So, federal government considers, look at this shit, right? Just, again, this is from 2021, but like they're talking about it again. Like every single time they bring it up, it gets shut down. And so like they bring it up again. The idea is like, okay, if we keep bringing it up, after 12 times, it may pass and then it stays. So like the very fact that they're thinking about it, federal government considers forcing Australians to provide ID to use social media and dating sites. Users would be required to show their driver's license or passport before opening a Facebook, Instagram, or Tinder account. Australians could be banned from creating anonymous social media and dating profiles under radical reforms being considered by the federal government. The change would see people forced to submit identification such as a passport, a driver's license before setting up an account on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tinder. It hoped the crackdown will stamp out bullying, trolling, harassment, stalking, and sexual abuse. Take into account that this was in 2021, right? It didn't work. Now it's for the children. Okay? Now it's to keep the children safe. Why? Like, look, so you're telling me that if I'm an Australian and I live in a house alone with no children whatsoever, now when I need to log on the internet, I need to show my ID every single fucking time. Okay, so you understand what happens when you allow these activists to set morality to society. You become like a mini China. Like most other nations have realized that maybe sex-negative feminists being allowed to set policy is not a good option. Because you don't want to become like the UK. You don't want to become like Australia. Like, we already have examples, right? Like, their ideas, it's not that they're women, it's not, no. But, like, their ideas do not actually reduce harm. Like, if you look at the rape cases in UK, right? They're not lower since the feminists took over. They're not reducing harm. But instead, they're creating your government into a mini China. And so, like, why do people listen to them? Like, whenever a feminist proposes something, you should do literally the opposite. Like, she should be your moral compass, right? But instead of your North Star, she should be your South Star. So, like, if she says that pornography is bad, then you need to believe that, well, okay, maybe there's something about porn that I don't fucking know. Maybe there is just something about it, but what I do know is that if I ban it, I end up like Britain. I'm just saying, you know, and the only way you can know this is because a feminist is against it. That's it. Like, that's the only thing I know. Every single time someone poses a question, I'm like, well, how would the feminists feel about this? American Outlier. Hi, V. Hope your day is good. And wish you well while I'll be on my 10-year vacation starting tomorrow and going to be off the grid until mid-September. Well, there you go. My super chat just got blown in half. Still, I wish you a good vacation. Unfortunately, you will not be able to see the sexy waifu that I'm going to animate for you. And I'm doing this to spite the Australian feminists. Like, every time I bring lewdness into the world, the feminist suffers. And therefore, I'm on a crusade. Not from God, but whomever else doesn't like feminists. I fight for you. Anyway. It's not about that women can't lead. This is not... Okay, look. This is not like these ladies trying to make a good society and just fucking it up. It's just like being incompetent. These ladies are better grifter than you, your father, your mother, and your entire fucking family. The way the grift works is by going after low-hanging fruits, by things that no one is willing to defend. They seem as if they're making a contribution. They're seen as if they're fighting against pornography and exploitation, right? The way they do it is they describe violence towards women to be any type of erotic content. Any whatsoever, right? Like if it arouses a man, like a Miss July catalog, any like that is violence towards women, right? So like if you take a crayon and you doodle a piece of ass, you're committing violence towards women. They changed the definition, right? And so when they're saying that they're trying to reduce violence towards women, what they do is like they go after the most petty shit imaginable. They go after video games. They go after commercials. They go after TV shows, you know, like Game of Thrones. They go after like the pettiest thing you can imagine in order to kick up a fuss and then get donations. And they're making millions of dollars. Like, their grift is making them millions without actually doing anything. There's no actual work. Alright? Like, there's no manufacturing. They don't create t-shirts. They don't even make content like I do. They do jack fucking shit, and they're creating money from nothing. These are the people that got BTFO'd by the trans exclusionary radical, not the trans, by the trans activists, right? Like the progressives BTFO'd these people. Because that's what they did. You know, people like Anita Sarkeesian, they opened the door to the LGBT groups. And by the LGBT groups, I mean like the trans activists, right? Like the fourth wave feminists. That's literally what they did. And the exact same tactics that were employed in 2014, we now see them again in Australia and in the UK. They have learned absolutely not. Well, actually, it's not that they have learned absolutely nothing. It's that they don't give a fuck, right? Like, if you're making millions of dollars, you don't give a fuck. Like, by the time something bad happens, you're old and retired with your bags of money. And so, how does the grift work? Well, they target low-hanging fruits, right? Some of them completely innocuous, like they're targeting commercials, or they're targeting Playboy magazine, or they're targeting Pornhub, whatever. Other times, you know, maybe they do target some genuinely degenerate shit. Like there was this video game No Mercy that came on Steam, which the entire purpose of the video game was to shock. Like the whole purpose of the entire game was to be disturbing. I think like the story was about a guy that is disinherited by his family, and then he molests his mother and every other woman that he finds. And the game was like presented with like, you're the ultimate cock, you're the ultimate asshole, you need to violate every vagina, you know, like nonsense. It was hyped up, it was like literally supposed to shock. It became a huge controversy in the UK. It became a huge controversy in Australia. They put pressure on Steam for hosting the game. Eventually, they took it down. And now, you know, like they realized, hold on a little bit, like this is an easy target. Like this is an easy way for us to get some activism going. So now they're targeting the Visa and Mastercard with the following letter. Basically saying that, oh, you're sponsoring CSAM, you're sponsoring video games that promote rape, you're sponsoring blah, blah, blah. And so, like, Steam said, okay, well, we're going to listen to Visa and Mastercard. Of course, their donations are going to skyrocket now. What will happen, and this is my next prediction, because I know how these groups operate, people are going to send them nasty shit on social media. They will probably create some accounts themselves and send themselves some nastier shit. And then go cry to the media, and it's like, oh, we're just trying to help society. We're just trying to help children. Look at the vile messages that we got. Ha, ha, ha. And then the donations start rising again. Right? So, like, it's not that, oh, my goodness, like, women do not know how. No, they do. They're very intelligent people. I respect the grift. You know, if people are this dumb to be grifted, they deserve to be grifted. The only problem that I have is that I'm not in their fucking country, and yet they're affecting the rest of the world. Like, the idea of empowering payment processors to decide what's allowed and what isn't, to be some scary shit in the context where the European Union wants to go cashless. Right? So now you have, like, for-profit corporations with absolutely no responsibility to the public, with absolutely no accountability from the public, being able to just say, yeah, well, this type of subculture we're going to ban because brand safety. Right? And it's like, okay, well, it starts with porn, but does it stop with porn? I don't think so. Like, what if they want to push ESG? And they're basically saying, yeah, we're going to add more commissions on this business because it's not environmental friendly. We're going to have carbon credits. We need carbon credits, brand safety. Right? Like, you normalize the concept. You accepted that it's moral for payment processors to do this. At the end of the day, you know, like, no one forces you to do business with them, and they shouldn't do business with you. 2020 was a state run, and a lot of the sheeple of the world show these governments that they can embrace the Chinese system, and people will just take it up the ass. Well, that's kind of the thing, you know. They had to shut it down because people stopped taking it up the ass. Like, there seemed to have been a limit. And I think the limit was when people started giving malicious compliance. When you had, like, 25 people with the same QR code entering a mall. Or when people were vaccinating themselves by the sink. And then the governments kind of understood, all right, it's time to wrap it up. Steam should not have cocked. Well, I mean, look. A lot of individuals, like, when they talk about a corporation, they think like it's an individual, right? So, like, if I was in charge of Steam, maybe. I don't know. The thing is, how would you do business if Visa and Mastercard pulls out? How much money would you lose? Like, they do a risk assessment. That's what businesses do. Businesses don't care about morality. Businesses don't care about principles. Businesses don't care about ideologies. The only thing they care about is, okay, what happens if we don't make money? Well, we have to fire everyone. Well, if we fire everyone, can we still operate? No. Okay. How much money do we lose if we comply? How much money do we lose if we don't? Take into account that Steam could just say, okay, well, the adult industry, the adult video games, is not something that's working for us anymore. Like, it's becoming more and more difficult to manage. And so we decided to simply ban them all. They didn't do that, right? What Steam is doing is basically saying, look, it's not us. Go talk with the payment processor. Which, by the way, I think, like, this may actually be a good thing. I do see, like, more and more people finally realizing, all right, well, maybe the payment processor shouldn't have this much power. And they're now talking about legislation, right? And it's not just pornography. They also went against the guns. They also deplatformed certain public speakers. They also went after Nigel Farage. Right? And so, like, it just adds up. It constantly adds up. I'll tell you something about porn as well. The reality is 80% of people watch it, according to studies, right? The only difference is that some people, well, most people don't want to mention it, right? Because it's shameful. While other people, they feel bad. They're like, oh, I'm struggling with the addiction. But they watch it anyway. And so when their entertainment is being taken away, they can't really complain about it, right? But they are annoyed. Like, there are people in Texas, in Florida, that want to log on to these websites, and they're annoyed. Because no one convinced them that the website is bad. People treated them like children. It's like, no, I know what's good for you. I know what's good for you, right? This is the best way to make friends, right? When someone comes into your house, forces you to behave in a certain manner, and goes like, I know what's good for you. I know what's good for you. And you're being smug and condescending, right? Like, this is what people enjoy. And so now that you built animosity, right? Like, they're spiteful. And they're just waiting for a reason to fuck with these credit cards. And the moment a reason pops up, it doesn't even matter if they care about it or not. They will support it. And, this is with the adult industry and with the gun industry and with the people that were upset that their political talking head got deplatformed. Already, like, all of the bullshit with the wokeness and stuff that also added up. And so, like, there's a lot of people with strong motivations to really dislike payment processors. And the moment, like, you're going to have a single legislation that tries to break the monopoly, the duopoly, or fucks with them in any way, shape, or form, people will sit against the payment processors. I'm surprised Steam doesn't sue both payment processors and activist group. Can you imagine the optics? Because that's the optics, right? Like, the optics is that Steam is supporting video games that promote rape. But you can say that about Game of Thrones, right? Like, Game of Thrones is a TV show or a book that has incest in it, it has rape in it, and it has CSAM, right? I mean, R.R. Martin in the book actually made Daenerys be like, what, 14, 13? Like, how old is she in the book? Arya Stark, right? Like he's creating a medieval world. And in the medieval society, the age of consent was a lot lower. And so, like, literally, all the degeneracy, all the disgusting stuff is in Game of Thrones. Right? But it's an artistic piece of work that I think deserves to be read because it actually does try to show a dark universe about how humanity looked like in the medieval time. Right? And in my opinion, it shouldn't be banned. But if someone was to make the accusation that this book contains depictions with children getting molested, incest, bestiality, and all that, which, by the way, the book has, and most people wouldn't have watched or read A Song of Ice and Fire, how would you defend it? Like, it makes you look like a monster, even if you try having the argument, right? Even if you know that, all right, well, hold on, I have the argument here. Like, this is not something done that's sick in nature or disturbing. This is something done that's artistic, that actually serves a purpose, right? To educate people, make them curious about medieval lifestyle, create entertainment, make them feel a lot of emotions like you did when Joffrey finally gets killed. But anyway, like, it's a public PR nightmare to be viewed as defending that. If the argument is being put in such a disingenuous manner. Right? Because, like, it's disingenuous to say that that's what the book represents. Because it's not the essence of Game of Thrones. Like, yes, those things happen. Just like the same on Steam. You know? Like, sure, there are some video games on Steam that are fucked up. But it's not the essence of Steam. Like, overwhelmingly, the vast amount of video games on Steam aren't like that. It's the same thing that they did with the ADL, right? Like, the ADL also attacks Steam. Like, notice how Steam is becoming a low-hanging fruit towards attacks from the left, from the right, from the ADL, from, right? Like, ADL said pictures of Pepe are anti-Semitism, right? Just like the feminists from Australia are saying that any type of pornography is violence against women. And so, it's the same tactic, right? Like, you water down the definition, and you're saying pictures of Pepe are anti-Semitism, swastikas are anti-Semitism, ignoring the fact that some people may post them to be edgy or as a joke or whatever, right? And then they started counting the number of anti-Semitic instances, and they found around 1 million. And you have 1 million posts in 1 year from a user base of 350 million. Like, it's a drop in the ocean. But they went with that, and they hyped it up, and they said, well, like, look, Steam is promoting and supporting and glorifying anti-Semitism, right? And that's why the ADL did it, to get donations. And this is why the feminists do it, to get donations. Would the ADL and the feminists agree? Absolutely. Because, like, what do they want? Well, they want their people in power to be able to monitor the platform, to be able to moderate, to be able to tell users how to think or risk losing their game library. They don't care what the reason for the moderation is. Oh, we're moderating to protect children. Oh, we're moderating to protect women. Oh, we're moderating to protect Jews. No one fucking cares, as long as they're moderating. Anyway, unless Valve finds a way to bypass the user, Steam's days are numbered. No, they're not. No, they're not. Like, again, this idea of accelerationism is not something that I believe in. The idea that, oh, if the authoritarians do authoritarian shit, then everything is lost. No, the authoritarians can create authoritarian systems that work. Will you still get the same enjoyment? No. But, okay, let's say Steam bans all the adult games. Do you think, like, Steam will stop existing? Do you think that... No, of course not. What if Steam becomes like Twitter during Jack Dorsey? Nothing happens. People still buy from Steam. I'm not saying this, you know, to be black-pilled, or... I'm saying this based on what I've seen previously. Like, when feminists say censorship works, they're right. Censorship does work. For a limited time, it creates a lot of spite. It creates people that will hate your guts. But for 5 or 10 years, yeah, like, censorship works. No, the only way that this can stop, and again, like, I don't have the power to make it stop, but the only way to make it stop is to create the counter-argument, right? Like, you would need a moral position where you would defend even, yes, like Count Dankula had, right? Like, Count Dankula had the moral position. And he said that he is for free speech because of the shit that happened to him. And so he said, yes, like, even the most degenerate stuff imaginable that's legal, right? So, like, he, you know, everything except actual CP, he will defend out of principle. Even if he doesn't watch it, even if he doesn't consume it, even if it disgusts him, like, no. He will defend it. Because he doesn't want what happened to him to happen to other people. And, like, if everyone were to think like this, then yes. You would finally be able to stop this nonsense and to stop the grift. But people don't think like that. And so you get the grift. Now the L site allows Visa and Mastercard again, despite having a small war with them over the past year. I don't know what happens. I haven't been on that website, but did they change some of the things? Like, did they make a Western version and a Japanese version? I think, like, they would have to remove, like, 3/4 of their catalog. This stops by having a public bank. But again, why would you? Right? Like who would create this? What? You're judging things from your perspective, right? Like, you're thinking, what would benefit you? You need to ask, what would benefit the elites in having a public bank? Nothing. They like the system. Why wouldn't they like the system? The Democrats love the system. If they want to pass a law, so if they can't pass a law, like, let's say gun control, right? Like, they can't get it passed. All they gotta do is to ask their activists to pressure the card companies, and all of a sudden, people can't buy firearms online. The stores are suffering. You're going to see a decline in purchases. And then the politician goes, oh, well, I did my job, right? And people vote for them again. I just got here, but I agree with everything you said in this stream. Why, thank you, JDA79. And thank you for being a member for more than, what, is it 3 years? Well, almost 3 years, 2 years and a half. I mentioned it earlier. Japanese companies and government got together to sue them. Then they stopped their bullshit. I will have to watch. I'll ask. I don't know what happened. But, like, if what you're saying is true, that's very interesting. Don't the credit card companies want to make money? Yeah, but, like, do you think they make money if they get sued? And by the way, like, take into account that some of the stuff is actually a no-no in many countries. Like, for instance, I speak with hentai game developers, and I know that most of them are aware of some stuff that is a big no-no in the West. Like, never do it. bestiality, incest, rapeu. I need to say it in a word so that the algorithm doesn't get it, right? The four-letter word. Like, all of these are things you should never have in your game. But someone from the UK decided to be a cheeky little shit, do the No Mercy game, and gave the activists reasons to grift. What can you do? Right? So, like, if this is illegal in some countries, well, Visa cannot facilitate. Because there's already laws in those nations that ban. Right? So, like, for instance, in France and in the UK, the four-letter word is no-no. And so, if they were to allow facilitations of people buying that stuff, it's complicated. It's not so simple. But the logic here is like, okay, what if you're in a country that does allow it, right? Like, for instance, I'm in Romania. In Romania, I'm not allowed to buy firearms, right? Like, it's illegal. But would that make it okay? Because the law in Europe, in most European countries, is for people to not be able to buy firearms. Would that be okay to be exported in the United States where it is legal? Right? Like, if you're dealing with international currency, then, well, you should make sure that, like, every single nation, because, like, Visa and Mastercard does have the body for this compliance, but in every single nation, like, the transfers of legal purchases should be allowed. How hard is it for Steam to ban things locally? Well, they do. But, sometimes, I guess, look, in the adult industry, there's this saying, like, don't make a scandal. You know? Just don't make a scandal. Just like, be normal. Why can't you be normal? You know, don't make a scandal. But every now and then, a cheeky little shit like the developer from No Mercy comes along, pushes the envelope way too much, and he makes a scandal. And then, well, Steam has to intervene, and I'm telling you like it is, not like how it should be. Right? Like, these are the unspoken rules. Speaking of which, does the whole controversy affect your game? No. I don't have any incest in my game. I don't have any underage characters. It's fine. But it's not about my game. Like, it's simply the principle of the matter. It's not that even I care about adult games. Like, if I want to get them, I get them. It's not even about that. It's the idea that payment processors should have the ability to decide unilaterally, without any sort of conversation, what is that isn't allowed to be bought. And it's also the fact that, we're moving towards the place where it's going to be like China. You need to show ID to log on social media. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. They look anime. They're all underage, according to some people. Well, you know that chick that Grok has, right? Like the anime chick. The same feminists that went after Steam, now they're saying that the chick is underage. And I'm like, dude, the bitch has tits bigger than my fists. Like, how the fuck? Right? This group called Collective Cry. Collective Shout. Sorry, Collective Shout. Right? They're basically claiming, like, one of the chicks that is claiming that the waifu that Grok released, right? Like this one, is underage. And I'm like, how? In what fucking world? And then you realize, well, hold on a little bit. Like, they don't have to make actual arguments. Like, what they're saying doesn't actually have to be true. As long as it's, like, gaslighting people a lot, it's good enough. And right now, a lot of people are seething over Elon Musk because he's fucking with the entire safetyism industry in the AI. Like, safetyism is actually a multi-million-dollar, if not a billion-dollar industry. Right? So, like, what is an AI safety expert? It's a person that knows jack shit about coding. It's a person that knows jack shit about AI. But they complain, right? And they're like, oh my goodness, well, this AI, it says lewd things. Oh, this AI, it tells people how to make a Molotov. Oh, goodness gracious. Again, it's The idea that the peasants shouldn't have access to literature. I never understand like this whole shtick. It's like, oh my god, it tells people how to make bad things. Can't you go to a library and learn? I mean, it's not like a hidden knowledge. It's not like a secret. Like if you really want to learn how to do something bad, you can, you know, whatever. Like my whole thing, my whole take with it, with AI safety. Let's look at cars, right? Like, how would it be if everyone forced cars, if you had a car safety expert, and he made all cars be unable to run more than 30 miles per hour, right? In order to have, like, car safety. Because cars are dangerous, right? Like, there's car crashes, there's kids dying in cars, like, nonstop. Every single fucking day. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if today a kid died in your country in a car crash. It happens, right? 350 million people. Lots of cars. So how would it be like if we just completely reshape society and make so that every single car doesn't go over 30 miles per hour? Like, you know, like some regulations, fine. Yeah, sure, you know, put your fucking seatbelt, although I disagree with that, but whatever. Like, I don't think people should get a fine for not having their seatbelt. It is what it is. But like, yeah, respect the roads and traffic roads and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's okay. But like, there's a limit. Right? Like, there is a time when common sense should kick in and say, all right, enough safetyism. I would ban SRC makers' car from self-driving, though. Like, that is ridiculous. You know why I would ban Teslas from self-driving? It's not because of the safety of the driver. It's because people will become lazy and complacent. Like, for instance, I heard this argument from a guy, and it was like, it's mind-blowing. But he was saying how he was running around the Tesla. And every single time, like, the Tesla knew where to stop. Like, he never got hit, right? And so he was thinking about it when he was a kid. He never played soccer on the street. Why? Because, well, even though cars would stop, what if you end up with a driver that just does it, you know, because he doesn't have, like, the reaction speed, he's not fast enough, right? So, like, because you know that the driver that may not stop exists, you don't play on the street. But if you're aware that people are driving smart cars and they always stop, yeah, it would make people on the sidewalk be the most absolute cheeky little shit people imaginable. There's no right or wrong decisions, only trade-off. Correct. Meloni was on cocaine the other day. Did you see that? No, but like, the thing is, I generally don't believe it. It's not that I don't believe it. Let's assume they would be, right? Because I keep seeing this every single time a politician like scratches their nose or does a little sniffle. People say, he's snorting. Okay, let's assume that they're snorting. There's no way you can prove it. Now, I know that some politicians do it because we found it in the White House, right? Like, there was the little dope in the White House. So, like, behind closed doors, I absolutely believe that they do. But even if they did, there's no way of proving it, right? Like, no one will take a pee test. No one is going to, you know, be caught doing it. So, it is what... I don't even speculate at this point. The best thing to do is to assume that they all do it, and there's that. Leave my waifu car alone, says this RC Maker. She's red and hot and drives me around. Well, that's the problem. You're the one that's supposed to ride her. Yeah, Meloni-chan has not been very impressive for a lot of Italians. Macron definitely does it. Maybe this is why his wife is upset. Because he doesn't share, right? Anyway, I'll end it here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the super chats. I appreciate it. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.